Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Thursday Night Hangout.
Of course, I'm your host, Charlie. I'm joined once again by the political counter himself, Zealeus.
What's up, good people of the world?
God, I hope something's up like the sky.
But
Don't hit the table because the mic is going to pick that up like crazy. So no drum rolls. Or
what if I do? What if I need to rap my knuckles or play the bongos or you never know? Musical inspiration may overtake me anytime.
Use your knees. No, I meant smack your knees, you numbnuts.
Yep.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, is the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. I am your host, Charlie. We do this show every single Thursday to give you, the audience, a little love, a little attention. Of course, talk about the topics that are most important to you.
What are the most important topics, sir?
So, some of the most important topics to discuss this evening, are... Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, right
the fact that, let's see here. Let's start it off a little crazy and go. For all of you out there who've been looking for basically almost the entirety of 2019 Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangouts, both in video and audio format, they're now all available either on the iTunes Store and of course YouTube, or you just go to our website and ta-da!
Have you watched them all in perpetuality and use it to like go to sleep with?
No.
No.
However, I did watch a ton of a Netflix show that I don't know when it came out. It's got to be very, very recent because it's now like, one of those. It's basically the thing that the first thing that loads when you go into Netflix.
They want you to see it right now, right here. What's it called?
Look what we got! It's called The Order. The Order, as I was telling Zealeus before the show started, it's basically, it gave me that little bit of like the Magicians vibe, but so there's this university or college that these kids go to, and apparently there's this super secret organization that doesn't exist. Super secret. Super. Everyone's like, doesn't exist, but yet it exists.
Is it one of those things where like, everybody's like, it doesn't exist, but everybody knows it exists, and it's like this great big thing where everybody agrees it doesn't exist, even though they know it exists?
So, everyone thinks it doesn't exist, but
everyone knows about its non-existence.
Sort of. Everyone's heard rumors about it.
Okay.
But no one knows who's in it. The only way you get in it is that you will mysteriously receive a blue rose with an invitation.
Oh.
And so the story starts where you got this like secret organization, the Blue Rose. Basically, I'm not giving away anything because if you watch like the intro like trailer, there's a guy who goes to this school strictly to get into the Blue Rose organization or society or whatever the hell it's called, because he's trying to find out how his mom died because his mom was part of that organization. And go.
And why are you enjoying it?
Well, because of course, like I kind of gave a little bit of a spoiler because I was like, it's kind of like Magicians because there's spooky magic.
Oh dear.
I like the storyline. I like the twisted turns. Not everything is what it appears to be.
Imagine that with magic.
Indeed. Like, I wish I could go into detail, but I'd be ruining like the first 3 episodes if I made the first twist known. Anyway, so you got that. But speaking of, the media variety, it was made public that the Disney streaming service will have not the entirety, but a huge chunk of the Disney vault.
They say entirety, man. I'm going to take the word for it.
Stop hitting the table. All right, so now, of course, that brings up a couple interesting topics. Mainly, was it Song of the South?
Song of the South, yes.
Yeah, that's not going to be available. If it is,
they said every movie, man, every production.
Now, of course, here's the thing, though. If you really were to break down some of like the earlier Disney movies, the movies that we probably watched when we were little, they're going to be there. But if you watch them now, you're like, oh my God, they're racist.
Yeah, it's how do different shows age? Even like I've been rewatching Chuck, right? And some of the way that they present and talk about and treat the women in the show, if that had been released nowadays, there'd be very different reaction to the show.
Oh yeah.
In terms of some of the, way they treat the different genders. And, it's one of those things where we're a different generation now, but in a way, you watch a show that's 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, I kind of have to watch, okay, I'm watching it with a different lens, right? But
the thing is,
that was through.
With Chuck, it was just it's a slightly I've got to focus it. With Peter Pan or Lady and the Tramp or stuff like that. It's you basically you're gonna need a high-powered microscope or telescope.
Well, let me ask you this question then, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously, in some of the Disney stuff, shows of their time had different racial and sexual things going on that nowadays are ooh, that's probably not good. Uh-huh. But maybe here's the other way of angling it, right? Uh-huh. So there's different societal expectations, right?
Yes.
So say you watch a show, say you watch one of the movies that you realize have some of these overtones in it or undertones, and you watch it with one of your kids. Mm-hmm. Is it maybe also a good teaching opportunity? Where I'm being dead serious, right?
No, I know.
Because they're billed as kids' movies, right? So some of these things come up, because we talk about video games all the time, right? Where, violence in video games, and you use it as hey, this is not real. Why can't some of these older movies that kind of have some of these, potentially racist and homophobic and misogynistic tones, and use those as teaching moments? Kind of the same concept, right?
I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, where you're trying to, when you're trying to show the difference between violence, fantasy violence, and real violence, it's a little bit, you've got violent video games, and people are okay, yeah, violent video games. Now, that being said, when you try to take the subject of Disney movies, where in Peter Pan, the Lost Boys they're going to kill the Injuns, and they're going after the Red Man, and then you have the Lady the Tramp, where you have the We Are Siamese song, which of course is racially insensitive, and then you have the Black Crows that are singing during Dumbo.
But of course, though, if you watched these movies with your kids, they wouldn't realize that those were socially insensitive, right?
True. However, if they were to repeat stuff that they heard in the movie now, in comparison to back then, the scrutiny would not only be placed on the children, but on us as, why the hell would you even let your child watch this?
Yep, that's true too. And that's why it's easier for me to say that I don't have kids, obviously. And if your nephews come around, you can just be well, I didn't know what they were watching. Well, that's my job, though, is the uncle.
Exactly.
Their dad showed it to them. It wasn't me.
They somehow ended up with fireworks. I don't know what happened. I think his dad gave it to him.
He's got two hands. He's fine. Wait, he's got one hand now. He's still fine.
No. He's got 9 of the 10 digits. He's cool. Anyways, so that's interesting. Now, of course, this has been a long time coming. Disney has been talking about removing all of their content and creating their own streaming service, because you got the Hulus, you got the Netflix. Netflix had a huge chunk of the Disney stuff. Of course, the big piece that Netflix had was the Marvel Cinematic MCU,
Universe. Yep.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, of course, Netflix is losing that, which is why you're seeing shows like The Order and The Umbrella Academy.
Well, Netflix has seen the writing on the wall for over 5 years now. They've been creating the original content for a long time, knowing that they knew this day was coming.
Right. No, you knew. I know a lot of people oh my God, they canceled Punisher and Daredevil and Iron Fist and Jessica Jones and all. Yeah, because they're going to lose the rights.
Well, to me, it's basically the opposite of Blockbuster, right?
Right.
Where Blockbuster, they had such a strong foothold, obviously in the video rental.
Yep.
And when the online streaming services, namely Netflix, started to come to light, Blockbuster didn't do anything. They didn't change with the times. They did not adapt their business model. Whereas Netflix proactively has adjusted the business model. The reality is, if Netflix had not adjusted the business model to create all the unique content like they are now, they'd be like Blockbuster. Would they still be around? I mean, I know Blockbuster's dead, except for that one store.
Whereas, it's a funny story once he's done with this. Okay.
Whereas Netflix, it would still be around now, but it would be very much a shell of itself. Whereas Netflix, yes, it doesn't have all that same Disney and all that content, but they're still going to be around 10 years from now.
Okay, so yes, Netflix is absolutely 100% seen the writing on the wall for quite some time now. And one of the things that that they've done is they've diversified. They've grabbed more foreign shows and stuff and brought it over, and more of it is getting dubbed. However, I will tell you this point blank: if you did watch any of these foreign films and you watched it subbed, and the next season they decide, oh, it's so good, let's do a dub version, it will mess with your fucking mind.
How so? I've never done that, so I don't know.
Oh God, what was the show I'm watching? It's a Finnish show. It was really funny. Like, the main character has very deep voice in his language, and then you switch out, and then the next season they have dubbed as the default. So all of a sudden, this is, yeah, man, let's do this. I'm like, what? Wait, what? Now I do understand. When you look at a lot of like the anime, or hell, any type of movie where you go from sub to, or sorry, if you start with dub and you go to sub, you're like, oh, this is really weird. Because you got such a different vocal range.
Sure. I think it's. I do agree. I think it is very.
I want to call it border town. Yeah. I want to say, but anyways, but.
No, I get that.
But Netflix is definitely diversified now. Of course, they have created their own content and whatnot, and The Order. The Umbrella Academy, which has already been renewed for season 2.
They have a lot of stuff on Netflix.
They have right, and there's quite
Frontier, various movies, and all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
they've definitely are. What they're doing is they want to stick around. If they were to lose basically the ability to stream other people's content, they have their own licenses to continue to go on.
Even, to be honest, one of the big reasons I still have Netflix is the CW shows. I mean, I'm a person who watches The Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, all those shows, but guess who else is coming out with their own streaming service? The CW. So, most likely at some point, I could definitely see the CW also being like, why don't we just keep all our stuff on our own network and not have Netflix use it anymore?
Well, so Spartan said, but the dub community is not well informed when they are voicing for these roles, and some of these animes are a bit messed with due to production turnover and not during their part when they are translated over. But here's the thing. Okay, so from my experience, when it comes to anime, you basically have a double-edged sword, or a multi-edged sword, or fuck the analogy. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyways, so here's the deal. So when you watch an anime, there are very good chances that if you go with the strictly dubbed version, it might be Americanized, which means that you're not actually getting the original. Case in point, of course, there's 2 movies that come to mind. One is called Wonderful Days, which was renamed Blue Skies. It was a Korean like CG film. They just cut chunks out of the film because it had to be Americanized. The other one is a movie called Steam Boy, which was had a limited release 2004 into select theaters for like 2 days, and they cut out a huge chunk to Americanize it because. Okay, if you're gonna do a limited release, whereas like a 1-2 day affair, why are you trying to Americanize it? It's not for mass distribution. You are basically trying to hone in on the hardcore anime or foreign film people. Why would you Americanize it?
I got nothing.
So
I don't know anything about any of these shows.
So anyways, so those 2, of course, I love both of them. But it is. if you were to watch some of like the trusted but true animes like Trigun and Cowboy Bebop, but in Japanese, for me it would be very disconcerting because all I know is the dubbed. I don't know. I think I would be completely lost.
But do you know Japanese?
No, I don't know Japanese. However, I
thought with all of your anime experience, you may have picked up some words here and there.
I probably have. It's probably subconscious. The thing is when I watch something that's subbed, I binge watch it. Or if it's a movie, I just watch the whole damn thing. And after a while, I kind of get the pacing where I don't have to have strict attention.
I gotcha.
On the words. Sure. I can kind of get like the rhythm, and I can not only you know kind of just like flash read and I understand it instead of going, he said to do this. It's
your
like,
brain kind of figures out how to do both at a time. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. It's like that stupid test where the test is you're smart if you can read this, and it's basically it has like key letters at the end of each one, but it's just like gobbledygook in the middle.
Yes.
It's the same letters for the word, but they just like switch it, but you can still read it. It's kind of like that. So, the hell was I going with this?
Are you smarter than an anime subber?
No, fuck no. No, God no. No. So I've completely derailed. So let's go to the Blockbuster, the last surviving Blockbuster store. And here's the fun thing about it. They actually had a Captain Marvel event at this Blockbuster. Like a special thing that they actually got sanctioned from, I guess, Disney, who owns Marvel, to do this one thing. And they're actually giving fucking tours to this place. It's like a relic. You know, it's like you go to a natural museum or a national monument.
You know what I miss?
Huh?
Versatile Video.
That was just down the street.
I know.
And our buddy Warlick actually worked there.
That was a quality video shop back in the day. That was the good place, man.
Indeed. Also has some video games. This is the reason why I know. What was that? What was that PlayStation 1 game? Beyond the Beyond. One of our buddies, Sims, picked it up, and I had to play. And then, of course, many years later, I found Beyond the Beyond in like the super duper discount bin at EB Games.
But of course, remember when you could
Which is now,
also
of course, GameStop.
rent games? I mean, rent video game systems.
Yes, you could.
So speaking of games, saw something interesting today. So there's a possibility you maybe actually post in Discord. I just didn't notice yet. Diablo.
No, did not. So
for those who don't, so Diablo, released in 1996 by Blizzard. Their start into the world of RPGs, right? They have worked with GOG, Good Old Games, by the way, owned by Red Key, not Studio. It's Group. Red Key Group.
Project.
Thank you, Project. Thank you.
That's The Witcher.
Yes. Nope.
Yes, it is.
No. Sorry, I'm coughing.
It's The Witcher.
Well, it's the same company, but it's actually a different sub-company who does The Witcher.
The Witcher.
I know it's still The Witcher, but it's like Red Key Studio versus Red Key Project. So yes, it's the same one, and so they are not re-releasing, but it's the same game. They played it, and it's the same damn game, and it's crazy though. So one of the questions that came out, obviously the Blizzard was like, why the hell is GOG doing this instead of you guys? This makes no sense. Blizzard's response was basically like, well, so remember Battle.net back in the day, how you had to do all this crazy like port forward opening and magicness? Yeah. Our current incarnation of Battle.net doesn't actually work with the old Battle.net stack.
Does it actually work, period?
Yes, it does. They tested it. It works.
No, I'm just saying because I got my account stolen. I've lost all of the all of my games.
No, the old Battle.net works.
Well, okay, fine. Yeah, I'm talking about this Battle. Or is it still called Battle.net, or did they rebrand it?
Yeah, it's still Battle.net.
Whatever.
So yes, so if you go to GOG for $10, you can actually purchase Diablo, the original in all its glory, and they also have the graphics aren't really updated, but they've updated the scaling. so it scales better on your screen for the 4x3 because it's 4x3.
The 1400 by 900.
So basically, it doesn't try to stretch it all out like crazy, and it actually
Sam,
looks good.
give us the statisticals and stuff about how awesome Diablo will be with the new stuff.
So I'm probably not gonna get it, but I just thought it was really interesting. Where 23 years later, it's like, oh, Diablo is coming out in good old games.
But I do find it interesting. I mean, this is of course, Blizzard officially announced I guess last year's BlizzCon. Or maybe
no.
About Classic WoW.
I thought you were going somewhere else with this.
No. But it's actually very interesting because I ran into somebody this past weekend who is literally salivating over the fact that Classic WoW is going to be a thing. Because he wants it so bad it hurts. And I'm like, damn, dude. Because my thing has always been, what code base they're going to do. Because literally they're going to have two incarnations of the same game, but from different spots. So are we talking strictly straight out of the box? Or are we talking you have some of the nice little tweaks?
Here's the thing. Here's the problem with World of Warcraft Vanilla.
Mm-hmm. Classic World of Warcraft. Classic, whatever the fuck it's called.
I think we're very much looking at
two updates after launch.
The original WoW through very much rose-tinted glasses. You look at MMOs nowadays, you look at the main ones. Let's Final Fantasy 14, you have I'm just brain farting on MMOs.
11?
Well, yes, to an extent, 11.
Evercrack 2?
World of Warcraft as it is now, right?
EVE Online?
Yeah, so you look at modern...
Secret World?
Yes, Secret World's a good call. So you look at
Wildstar?
Well,
Matrix Online?
That died, yeah. But you look at the...
I'm just going to keep naming MMOs and trying to derail you.
Thank you. But you look at modern MMOs, and they have lots of quality of life improvements, right? Third Life, man, get with it. But the original World of Warcraft, as much as I enjoyed it, and
Penguin Club!
Shut up! It takes a lot of time playing it. It would infuriate the overwhelming majority of video games players. Think about it.
Right, but it's not meant for the World of Warcraft joiners now. It's like the old school ones.
But what's gonna happen though? People are gonna hear oh, Vanilla WoW, this is so cool. I'm gonna try it, and it's gonna end up getting flamed to hell because people are gonna realize, wait, I don't get a mount at level 10. I can't do fast travel and all this stuff.
Wait, Tiger, hold on, slow down now. Let's say that they've never played World of Warcraft before.
It's a painful experience, man.
Right, but I'm just saying, because you're like, I don't get a mount at 10, I don't get to fast travel, I don't get to do this. But if you go into it not knowing the standards of the new version or the new way that World of Warcraft goes about things, I don't think you would have that big a prejudice. However, if you are in the MMO world, you do know that there's been an oversimplification of basically the vast majority of mechanics simply because MMO companies are trying to gain as many subscribers as possible. If they are still doing subscriptions, vast majority of them are doing paid, free-to-play with in-game transactions to help, I guess, supplement the economy, blah, 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 jargon word here, jargon word there, yada, yada, yada.
I mean, I'll be curious to see. I mean, like I said, I really don't exaggerate when raiding in WoW Vanilla was a part-time job. In order to do in-game content in Vanilla WoW, I was playing 5 nights a week for 4 hours.
And some people want that. They want to go back to that.
Yeah, but it's such a... I don't know. I'm just very skeptical of how this is going to work because I just don't think Vanilla WoW, like you said, depending on what code base they use,
right?
If they actually bring in, I'm just going to say, they bring back World of Warcraft at the not Burning Crusade, at the, let's just say the Blackwing Lair level. Blackwing Lair level. None of the mount enhancements.
Say that fast.
Blackwing Lair. Good lord, shut up. No, none of the, it's easier to get mounts, none of those party finder stuff, not integrated quest trackers. if they don't have that stuff, if it's the true vanilla WoW, I just don't see it succeeding.
Well, I mean, you know, it's still going to be interesting. I do find it refreshing and slightly curious about how adamant those individuals who literally started on the launch date of World of Warcraft. They're like, yes, finally! Oh my god, back to my roots.
And look, as somebody who did that, as somebody who was really, I couldn't go back. I'll tell you right now, there's no way in hell I can go back to it. And here, as I think, is the other problem. World of Warcraft vanilla, we're talking now, is 15 years old.
Yep.
You know who's playing World of Warcraft vanilla? We all have freaking jobs and families now. Like, we don't have the time to devote 30 to 40 hours to this damn game anymore. That's who played World of Warcraft vanilla. We're no longer the generation that can devote that number of hours. The people who have the hours to devote to vanilla WoW to make it what it was at the time, they're playing games where it's insta-queues and party finder and like 10-minute games. It's instant gratification.
So okay,
Instant gratification.
So real quick, when did World of Warcraft launch?
I remember playing really
2000s,
big
right?
when I was in college. So yes, we're talking that 2001. Oh yes, somewhere around 01 to 03.
Okay, so we're now we're like 18. No, we're 15 years since the beginning.
Thereabouts, yeah.
Okay,
so we'll just say 15 to make it easy.
All right.
Yeah.
So technically, 12. Thank you.
It's been more than that.
No, it can't be. No, are we just going to count up?
13, I was definitely.
14, 12?
I know for sure I was playing in 2014.
I know for a fact that I was playing it when I was at
Full
Sail.
I know it's in UGA.
And I left Full Sail in 2005. Where's my degree say? Nope, 2006. Never mind.
It had to have been 2004 at the latest. Because I know I was in my dorm or in my college apartments in 2004 playing.
Let's find out.
Let's look through the Google.
Let's Google it, man. The World of Warcraft.
Release date.
All you gotta do is type it in. I'll give you the release date.
Call.
2004.
So
it's
late
been 15
2004.
years. It's been 15 years.
Thank you, Spartan.
Oh, come on, Spartan. Damn it. It's too fast. It's too fast for us. No, I mean, I do understand the appeal, and to be honest with you, there is that subset of individuals who probably were, we're looking for that new taste of MMO, being already like veteran MMOers, who this actually will appeal to because now their kids are probably about to leave the house and they're about to get a shit ton more time.
Could be.
Now, of course, if we're talking about, the individuals who are playing like Fortnite, that's definitely not for them, or any of those like fast action, jump in, jump out. Can be totally honest with you, I have not played World of Warcraft in about, I don't know, 1,075 years.
Damn, bro, you're old.
But I know. But do they still have the in-game Bejewel while you're waiting for party?
I believe so.
Is that still a thing?
Probably.
Okay. Well, anyways,
you know what? I actually something I really miss. So I stopped playing Vanilla WoW when expansion came out, right? And I actually rejoined WoW for one reason only, but they changed it, so I was so pissed off. Was PvP Alterac Valley? It was this giant, like 80 on 80 PvP scene, right? And it was crazy. It was this thing, and the thing I loved it is like, or 40 on 40, 80. It was just ridiculously large, right? And the thing is like you could literally go to bed, wake up the next day, it was the same damn fight. Like
it kind of sounds like when you're doing space jumps in Eve.
Yeah.
You'd be like going across the galaxy. Oh, I'll take you 36 space jumps. You could literally go to sleep, wake back up, and you're done.
But I love that shit because it was just constant, nonstop mayhem, and it just continuous fighting, and I love that. And then they changed it at some point, so eventually somebody win like in half hour to an hour. And I get why they changed it, but I guess that's my point of why I don't see Vanilla WoW being as. You're right. No, I totally agree, Spartan. But that's why I don't see.
Tell everyone what Spartan said. Because for the audio audience.
Sorry. So Spartan says this is because there were objectives and other stuff that took it so long to win That basically you couldn't win because it took so long that nobody could finish them. But that's what classic vanilla was. And they changed AV, Altarag Valley, for that exact reason. Is because gamers more and more wanted something with more finite goals where you could finish it in a shorter period of time. That's what gamers want, by and large. The gaming populace was changing. They're not going back.
They went instant gratification.
Yes, which AV was not. So that's why I'm just skeptical about how popular is Vanilla WoW going to be.
All right, now talking about Blast from the Past, ladies and gentlemen, we have to talk about the simple fact that Command and Conquer and Red Alert remastered. Hello. How crazy is this?
Those were great games.
So
great games.
But here's the thing: it is a remaster. They are not remaking the game. They want to be very explicit in saying that the remaster will be worked on by the former Westwood developers.
Wow.
So we're talking like old school, okay?
Yes.
So it's a remaster of the original, not a remake. So it's literally going to be, it's going to look really pretty.
I don't want it like remade. I want it to be pretty.
Now, of course, so this begs the question. I'm not exactly sure what Polar Knights is saying. It is live, alive, I say live.
We are live.
But, okay.
So Spartan says, the other reason WoW did well is because it did something different with the MMOs at the time. It was unrivaled at the time. I agree. So I feel like people are still stuck in the old hype train of the past, which I agree in.
Because, well, I mean, to be technical, it's that first love. It's that entry, the gateway drug, so to speak, where this was the reason why you really got into MMOs, because you loved that feeling, that excitement, that experience of the original World of Warcraft. But when you look back on it, do you actually, like, now, if you were to go back, will it have the same effect?
I guess think about it this way.
Yeah.
We're 2018.
Yep.
2019.
19, yep.
Imagine World of Warcraft did not exist.
Yep.
It was not a franchise, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had Diablo and Overwatch, right? That's what Blizzard's known for.
Mm-hmm.
And they released Vanilla WoW today.
Mm-hmm.
Would it succeed?
Probably not, because we are in the instant gratification. I fucked up. I want to start over again. Not to be mean, but we are seriously so far removed from actually wanting a fucking story. It's completely stupid. They want the vast majority of the individuals who want that instant gratification don't give a shit about story. They just want to, like, let's make our own experience, our own story about how we gallantly battled into the middle of the field.
I don't think you could level up just by being an herbalist. That leveled up your herbalist skill, but not your character.
Just kill the boars.
Eh.
What
about Hogger, man? Hogger was the badass.
Look, here's the deal. Just do yourself a favor, find the South Park episode, Make Love, Not Warcraft, and just watch that on repeat, okay? You'll be fine.
Oh, dear.
Anyways, real quick, just to switch gears, super duper quick. The thing is, Command & Conquer and Red Alert are getting remastered.
I'm excited about this.
Remastered. I want to say that one of them got a release date, maybe? I don't know.
Well, it's like Warcraft 3 is being remastered, too.
Okay, so...
Like, all these remasters are like, let's get everything pretty.
See, this kind of scares me, simply by the fact that you are literally building on nostalgia, okay? Where you're hoping for a quick bang for your buck. There is not going to be, I'm sorry, but there's not going to be a lasting a marketplace for some of these older games being, like, prettyized.
So I think it's a little bit different. So I think with World of Warcraft, that's actually quality of life changes that are drastically different now than before. Yeah. Whereas I think with the RTS, like Command and Conquer, I think the gameplay itself was. I think the gameplay itself stands up to today's standards of RTSs.
Having not played Call of Duty in, like, I don't even know, 20 plus years, I don't know. You know, the The thing is that as we have continued on and technology has advanced, AI has gotten more complex.
Yes.
So when you have these RTSs, real-time strategy games, that you're now playing with the complexity and strategy of what they're able to do, if you were to go back to the Command and Conquers of yesteryear, would you still be as satisfied with destroying or defeating the AI now as you were back then?
Well, I guess that's one of the questions. When the remaster, are they doing anything to the AI code?
Right.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Because I mean, there's the thing is, the beautiful thing about it, about nostalgia is you always remember all the great things, and you kind of gloss over those things that might not have been completely awesome, but because the overall product was awesome, it had to be awesome. Case in point, of course, and this is why Square Enix has been scared shitless to ever do a remaster of Final Fantasy VII, is that they know that it would be, they would make a quick buck and then piss off a shit ton of people, because then they would be like, oh, fuck, that really was not that good of a game. Which, there was a rumor that they were going to do, like, episodic content. I don't know if that actually ever came to fruition. I remember that.
Yeah, that was, like, the original thing, yeah.
They had it, of course, Final Fantasy VII was on the original PlayStation. Then they did, then they showed off a tech demo to show how much graphics the PlayStation 3 could push by doing the opening video for Final Fantasy VII. Never having the intention of making the game. And now for the PS4, there was always a rumor that they're going to release the game, but in episodic content, and it would change the story. But then I never heard anything. I'm pretty sure that the fans out there going, no, you can't do that. You can't fuck around with the original story.
In a game, I agree. I think a game like Final Fantasy VII, like, Square Enix is in no win position with that game.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. It's Final Fantasy VII. It's a legend of the RPG realm. And, like, really, like you said, they might make a quick buck by releasing it, but in the long run, you're never going to exceed those expectations of what people demand. That's just, a game like that, you just can't do better than. Or what people think it was.
Well, I mean, okay, but here's the thing. Square Enix has been so hesitant about doing Final Fantasy VII. However, if you want to look at the other game that they absolutely will whore the shit out of, the one and only Chrono Trigger, which you can literally get on every single fucking platform.
So why do you think they will do it with Chrono Trigger but not FF7?
Okay, so there's a couple things about Chrono Trigger. One, it's fucking solid. Two, for the more technically savvy individuals out there, Chrono Trigger is sprite based. So by doing a graphical overhaul, you just basically have to upgrade a two-dimensional figure. Okay. Whereas when you play like Final Fantasy VII, you're doing a polygon figure.
3D.
3D, yes, 3D, and then you have to. Then there's a poly count, which you want a higher poly count to make it look more perfect.
Well, and I think too, like 2D sprites also age well.
Yes.
Like absolutely. I mean, 2D is in now, like retro games, but 3D does not age well.
No, because I mean, if you. A lot of people are like, when the first Tomb Raider came out, like, oh my god, look at that, she's got humongous boobs. Now if you go back, you're like, oh my god, it's the weirdest thing in the world.
She has like, triangles.
She's got like these pointy things that'll stab people's eyes out.
I remember like when we years so ago at your place when we tried playing GoldenEye.
Yes.
Like, we have such nostalgic memories of GoldenEye. Back in the day, it was that gateway drug to FPSs, but then we tried playing, and it's like between the joystick and the controls
like across the frame.
Everything else was like, what is this abomination?
But speaking of GoldenEye, the group behind GoldenEye, which left and formed, I can't remember what the new company was, they released Time Splitters.
Wasn't it Rare?
No, Rare was GoldenEye, but they broke off and created something for that then produced the first 3 Time Splitters. There's always this rumor floating around that Time Splitters 4 is going to happen. It'll never happen. But it would have been awesome if it did. See, that's the thing, though, Sam. He says GoldenEye was the greatest game ever made at the time. Exactly. And that's the caveat you have to put with a lot of these games out there is at the time. You have very fond memories of spending a shit ton of time playing a certain game. That being said, keep those memories.
Oh yeah.
Don't try to relive them because chances are you're gonna get really fucking depressed.
And enjoy those memories.
Yes.
Like that's the purpose. That's why we play video games, is to enjoy our immersion in these games, be it solo, be with our friends, be online. Mm-hmm. Like that's the beauty of video games. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy it. You know, like you said, like GoldenEye, okay, today is an FPS, it's terrible, but we were playing back in the day, it's glorious, and I'm glad that we had those moments. Caveat. That's an interesting spelling of Cheviot.
Whatever. Anyways.
We got a Chevy in our car.
Anyways. So yeah. When it comes to remasters, I'm always like a slightly bit hesitant. But we'll see.
But it's a remaster, not a remake. So does that make you feel any better?
No, because you're still... You are still running the risk of individuals going, man, I love playing that game. And them buying this game and then starting playing going, oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Yeah.
Now, of course, there's several different... If you want to go outside the video game realm, there's also a shit ton of these, movies where, they're remake or... They try to be crazy and they rename it, but it's the same effing movie. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels was a phenomenal movie with that had Steve Martin and Michael Caine in there. And now they're remaking it. Of course, they changed the name to, I think it's called The Hustle, and it's got Rebel Wilson and what's her name?
No idea.
I'm totally blanking out. Dark hair, whatever. I'll have to look it up. But anyways, it's literally Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, but like the female version.
Well, okay, so I'm going to go back to our RTS remake real quick. Mm-hmm. And maybe our audience knows, because this is something I don't know the answer to. Mm-hmm. So games like FPSs and MMOs are clear quality of life improvements that I think have been made in 20 years, right? Like, how well does the game play? How much do I enjoy it? With RTSs, going back to Command & Conquer, because I'm not an RTS player, generally speaking, AI side, because I know that's made leaps and bounds, how much has the quality of life in the gameplay enjoyment for a player really improved since Command & Conquer came out? That's kind of what I'd be curious in terms of the gameplay perspective. What's really improved in RTSs in the last 20 years, besides graphics and AI? I don't know. That's what I'm kind of curious of, is are there many things that have changed?
I would say the ability to have more units at your disposal.
Okay.
Because another thing that you got to take into consideration is that every single game, as we progress through game history, the level that you're able to achieve of complexity has increased. I know I've said this a shit ton of time, but I once upon a time was a cell phone game developer. I made games for phones prior to the smartphone era, and I will tell you that there were a ton of versions of a single game simply because of the memory constraints per phone and also the type of phone. So you had Java phones, things called Brew phones, which are basically C++ for all you coding nerds out there.
That brings back memories.
And so you had to take certain things into effect. Now, of course, it's basically when you look at video games. On the console, you have those type of restriction. Of course, the beautiful thing and the downside of things when it comes to PCs is that you don't know what the max is. You have a recommended, but not a max. Sam Grizzle says the freedom element in sandbox games has gotten better. Gameplay isn't so linear. I agree, and this is another. I mean, this is really what we want. What the publishers and developers want is they don't want linear, because you're then dealing with a situation where it's a play. There's a chance where you could only play it once and then you never go back. So the replay value is going to be much lower. And of course, with the new way of like nickel and diming everyone, that's dessert, dude. You need to remove an S.
Close enough.
He's typing in black dessert online MMO instead of desert.
I'm hungry, man. Okay.
Whatever. But anyways, so when you the other thing is, and if you've ever been to one of my panels at a convention, one of the things that I try to make abundantly obvious is the fact that publishers do not want single player games. They don't want these heavy story driven games, simply because it takes a shit ton of money to map out a successful story, a ton of money for maybe levels or areas that you might only interact with once or twice tops. Voice acting is always a big one, and of course cinematics. Now, of course, you take all that shit out and you go, here's a core mechanic. We're going to give you 7 different multiplayer maps, 4 different game modes. Here's an array of weapons or whatever. Go at it.
So much replayability, though.
And then you could DLC the shit out of the person until they croak.
Who doesn't love loot boxes?
Or that's gambling, sir, in certain circles, sir. Or what they do is they nickel and dime you until either the new version of it or 2 iterations after that version happens, and they cut online play completely off, so you're forced to play the new one, and you'll have to get all new DLC because it does a transfer.
Wait, so you're talking about basically every sports game?
Yes. Yes.
And some games do it well. Like, great example is Path of Exile. It's a great free-to-play hack and slash game.
And that really more for like the Diablo-esque type of
play.
player.
It's Diablo 3, but done well. Mm-hmm. It's basically what it is. I'm serious.
It's like Diablo 3, if done well.
It's Diablo 3 if Blizzard had made bold decisions. And I don't mean doing a freaking real money auction house. Yes, Path of Exile is extraordinary. But
it'd be like Diablo 3 before the pussification of Diablo 3 that got released.
Pretty close, yeah. No, I love Path of Exile.
Okay, so a little bit of, I guess, background was when Diablo 3 was first announced and they showed the stuff, it's like, oh man, it's that dark, gritty, Diablo. You're like, yes! And then it got like all kinds of like purple rainbows and shit. I'm not talking like, complete like color change, but it became much lighter. There was more like pastel colors thrown in there for some fucking reason, and of course there were some other weird ass issues there as well. And I think that a lot of individuals wanted to find a game that gave them exactly what they wanted, and I think that that's one of the reasons why Path of Exile has succeeded, is because from day one they're like, this is what it should have been.
Well, there's 3 things that I think Path of Exile does well. One is
free to play.
Yes, it's free to play, but yes, they have the microtransactions and all that stuff, but it's not necessary at all. Right. Like, you don't have to do them. It's all like, hey, I have cool cosmetic shit, right? Mm-hmm. 2 is, well, I guess 2 and 3 are kind of combined, is the way that they do their leveling system is really cool. It's basically you create a character and you can customize your character in any way you want. Basically, you have a sphere grid. Mm-hmm. And the sphere grids, when you level up, is you select like plus HP or plus attack or whatever, and you can customize your character in any way like that. And the third way, and this is my favorite thing in like a video game, there's an old hack and slash video game, and Dungeon Siege did it kind of like the same way.
Not the second one, just the first.
The first one, yes, good call. And not the movie either, by the way.
What? Jason Statham's amazing. What's it in The Name of the King? Is that what
it is? Yes, yeah, a Dungeon Siege movie. Is what it was. Yes, and so the way you do leveling up is basically you get gems. Mm-hmm. And you put gems into your sockets on your items you pick up, and you use those gems, and that's what your attack items are. So say for instance you have a hammer, right? You can put in your hammer, you can put a gem that says cleave. Okay, well everybody knows what cleave is, right? You hit a cleave attack and now you hit 3 people, right? Pretty straightforward. The more you hit a cleave with your hammer, the more that gem levels up, it gets more powerful. But what makes it so freaking cool is on this gem is you can add on other gems to this gem depending on what kind of hammer you pick on. So if you have this gem that's a cleave and attached to that node is now you get lifesteal, you get hammer, and you get fire gems attached to that. Now you have a hammer that does a fire cleave with lifesteal and it does a hammer effect and bashes people in the face. Woo! And so basically you can customize your character in any imaginable way with these cool gems. It's just so freaking cool.
Sounds kind of like Warframe with the different mods you can add.
Oh my!
Which allows for, you can add some puncture or some impact or fire or
and
electricity.
Does it level up the more you use that?
No, but the more so your weapon levels up. So technically, some of the statistics do level up. However, the more you play, you do gain the ability to level up each one of those mods to gain stronger puncture, impact, or push or knockback or any of that. Anyways, so yeah. By the way, if you have not noticed, I have streamed a shit ton of Warframe.
He said it correctly.
I know.
Congratulations!
If you've been watching the show in the past, you know that I've had a hard time saying Warframe instead of Warhammer.
Warhammer.
I did try to play another game.
Warhammer?
Warframe. I did try to play another game recently. It was called Deathmark.
Not Pokemon?
Not the game to play on a stream. So much dialogue, none of it spoken. Holy ballsack. And, I could do... I like to do voices, right? When it comes to non-voiced stuff. However, I can't quickly switch between voices when, no offense, but when I have to switch between names I can't easily pronounce. Okay, it's really fucking hard. Alter, do a voice. Which one do you want me to do?
Do a Pokemon. Pika. There you go. See?
Or let's see here. A favorite one is hold on, I gotta think about this. I'm going through my head here.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous and lonely place. Twisted, my friend, Twisted. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
Hello there, Ned. How do you do? Tell me, what is new? How are you things, you little man? What is new? Please tell me, Ned.
I do not like this bed at all. Allow things to come to call. Count dog, count 'em out. Oh, what a bed. Oh, what a house.
Oh, dear. Can I see you? Will you please come over here? Will you please look at my ear?
Say, look, a burrow's in here, but he's out, so have no fear. Getting your can hear me, dear. Speaking of snake,
You have a snake? Pet snake?
No. The guy who played Poe from the latest Star Wars, he wants to be Snake for a Metal Gear Solid movie franchise.
So basically you're talking about Escape from LA.
No, I'm not talking about Snake Plissken.
I'm just saying.
It's not the same thing, okay?
No. Sorry, he is Snake to me.
No, whatever. I love that I somehow made Altered talk about something. Talk about what?
He's been talking for the last hour.
I mentioned Solid Snake butt cheeks. I didn't say butt cheeks. Well, now I said butt cheeks.
Butt cheeks!
Yeah. Anywho. Yes. Anywho. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's do a little bit of housekeeping, and this is the wonderful part where we basically say, here's all the fun and amazing ways that you, ladies and gentlemen, can
keep up with us, ladies and gentlemen. We have several means via social media for you to make sure that you stay up to date with everything that is Altered Confusion. The first, of course, that we like to mention is that we have a Facebook page, and you can get there by going to
www.facebook.com/AltConfusion.
And of course, let's just add a little bit of extra awesomeness. And that is, we also have a YouTube channel.
We do?
Yes, we do.
Go to youtube.com/AltConfusion LLC.
But of course. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go super duper 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 old school, you can always go to www.alteredconfusion.com. That is our website. However, you can do it the Zealeus way, and probably the vast majority of what people do nowadays. And you go to www.google.com, and in the search bar, you put Altered Confusion.
Or you just use your magic Omnibar search.
Omnibar!
You just type in Altered Confusion.
And it will be the first one. We have finally surpassed the Altered Confusion mental state. Which is good, because we're here to alter your gaming confusion. So, ta-da! Now, of course, so we did our Facebook, we did our YouTube, we did our actual website. Let's say if you are, for some reason, accidentally watching this recorded and you missed out on the live show.
But the live show's where it's at, man.
But the live show happens every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
7 o'clock Central Time.
6 o'clock Mountain Time, or 5 o'clock Pacific Time. All you gotta do is go to twitch.tv/AlteredConfusion. Now, of course, if you're looking for something that's outside of the Thursday Hangout, perhaps some game streaming, of course, that happens on Tuesdays and Sundays from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Once again, Eastern Time. Remove numbers for either backwards or forwards, whatever your damn time code is. Anyways, now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, there is this amazing thing called Twitter. And I have to say that is one of our favorite things to give you because, of course, it gives you everything and everything that is Altered Confusion related. And to do so, you have to
go to Twitter and search for @AltConfusio. But dude, where's my N?
The N would break the internet. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about a couple of extra little doodads and stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we have this beautiful thing called Patreon. Patreon is basically a way for you, the fans, the patrons, the lovers, the friends, to give back to Altered Confusion in a financial way. The way that we have our Patreon currently set is a monthly deduction or donation. All that money goes to Altered Confusion to help for the cost of our conventions, be it hotel or electrical or badges, and of course, the upkeep of our equipment. Perhaps, one of these days we'll get a new camcorder, since our camcorder is now 13 years old now. Is that right? Yeah, probably 10, 11, 12 years old is our camcorder. I finally did upgrade to a much bigger memory card, which thankfully it took.
Yay, memory!
So we don't have to do like 3 interviews and then have to remove all of that shit and then do it again. But anyways, so Patreon is basically a way for you to give any denomination from $1 up. It's a monthly donation. It helps Altered Confusion in any and every way. Now, of course, if you want to do maybe a financial donation, but you do not want to be tethered to a monthly donation, you can just do, if you're watching this live, click the Donate Now button below this, and it is a one-time donation to the Altered Confusion LLC. Yes, it's an actual company. Hello. Or if you're watching this recorded, all you got to do is go to www.alteredconfusion.com or Google alteredconfusion.com or omnibar.alteredconfusion.com.
Basically type Altered Confusion anywhere.
So you go to the website, and on the left-hand bar is a Donate Now button. Now, of course, we'll take you to the PayPal and GoFundMe. Someone has set up a GoFundMe. Anyways, so you got those two things. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to actually send Altered Confusion something, be it a Funko Pop, or perhaps something that you'd like for us to show off on the show that is appropriate, we will not be showing off sex toys on this show.
Sorry, that's for the demon.
demon.
Let's be honest.
But anyways, so ladies and gentlemen, if you want to give like T-shirts or swag or maybe some upgrades to the equipment, if that's what you want to do, instead of giving like a specific, or just a regular donation, you can send everything to 1551 Dunwoody Village Parkway, number, and this is very important, number 88276. Dunwoody, Dunwoody, Georgia 30338. If you send stuff to that, I promise that I will try to get to the P.O. box as much as possible. I have not been there the past month, and I apologize. So if y'all have sent me stuff, I super duper apologize.
Your Mountain Dew's probably sitting in there.
Okay, seriously. If y'all send me Livewire Mountain Dew, you will be forever like my best of friends, okay? Livewire does not exist in Georgia at all, because we're from Georgia. Spoiler alert. But yes, if you want to send it that way, that's awesome. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a couple of announcements, and that, of course, is we're going to MomoCon, which is at the end of May. So if you can make it down to Atlanta, I highly recommend you go to it. It is one of the best conventions we have ever gone to, both as attendees and also as actual fan tables, panelists, media, which I'm really, really, really excited about because I might be able to interview someone that would be awesome.
Is his name Zealeus?
No, it's oh God, you had to ask me the damn thing. The guy who does the voice of he's Lemony Snicket. MomoCon is in Atlanta, Georgia. It's at the Georgia World Congress Center. You go to momocon.com, I believe is the website. Momocon.com. Is it com or does it or
Yeah,
.org?
it's MomoCon.
No, is it .com or?
I'm sure it's .com. It's everything's .com, man.
Yes, momocon.com. It is the May 23rd through 26th. I personally will be there the entire time. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be there. We'll have a fan table for everyone to come together. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. The other bit of news is that I said this before, and I'll say it again. If you guys were missing any of the previous Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangouts, the videos or the audios, they are finally all up on the website, on YouTube, and of course on the iTunes podcast store. So, ta-da. Charlie finally got his shit together.
Yay!
I know. It took long enough.
Well, that's what she said.
Oh! Is that... If she said it took long enough, well, you probably... let's not over...
I'll let you use your imagination.
Yeah. Anyways, so... oh, yay! Maybe. But anyways, so... I think we've basically reached the end of our show.
All right, we can preview the video without showing it.
No.
I'm curious.
No. We will watch this. For those of you who are listening to the audio version, we have one of our very adamant fans trying to get us to watch a video.
She's something.
We will watch it after the recording. How about that? Okay?
So watch it live, but not recorded.
Exactly.
Okay, fair enough.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap this bad boy up. But before we do, I do want, since we're talking about videos real quick, you have to, if you have not, go to YouTube and type in Automata. That's AUTOMATA. It is the web series that's based off of a Penny Arcade comic. It is, in my opinion, really, really good. Might simply be the fact that one of the lead characters is basically the gentleman who's wearing all the prosthetics is Doug Jones, who is a fucking hero. He's done. If you look at his fucking IMDb, it is insane how much
stuff he's done with prosthetics
yeah.
and all that stuff. It's amazing. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially reached the end of our show. So I'd like to thank everyone who tuned in for listening to everything coming out of our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. Will be back next Thursday.
Next Thursday!
Another Ultra Gut Feast on Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.